So, hi everyone, and welcome to Mage Engage. This is the community podcast video thing where I aim to introduce you, the Magento community, to you, the Magento community. Today, I'm joined by Brent Peterson. Thank you for joining me.
Hello.
Hi. So, firstly, what I'd love you to do is to give us some information about yourself, who you are, what you do, what's your interaction with Magento.
Sure. My name is Brent Peterson. I would describe myself as the agency evangelist and coach at Wagento. It's just like Magento, but with the M upside down. So we're located in Minneapolis, which is in the central north of the United States. And we're a system integrator for everything Magento. We also have an office in Cochabamba, Bolivia. So we're focused on the Spanish-speaking world as well. And we try to integrate all kinds of third-party applications and fun stuff within the Magento community. So my role is to encourage and help our developers and our project owners and everybody on our team to embrace and do what Magento can do well.
Cool. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. What I'd love to talk to you about is one of your passions in life. And if you are a follower of Brent on Twitter, then you probably see lots of running selfies or updates of his time or whatever. So yeah, I'd love to just get to know what you do and how you run and that sort of stuff. But firstly, so are you a runner or are you someone that runs to keep fit?
I guess I would describe it as embracing running as a lifestyle. So my wife and I both are runners, and we put our vacations and our traveling around running. So we're not just runners. I would say that we're somebody that, as a lifestyle, we choose to run. And if I could run 8 hours a day, then I would probably choose that. But I'm way too old and my body won't do it.
Okay. Okay, so you say that it's a lifestyle and you want to do it as much as possible. So what is the main enjoyment for you when you get out there and you go running?
I think the first thing would be that it's you have some solitude away from a computer screen, away from, well, in my case, not always away from the cell phone, since I do take a lot of selfies while I run, but it's that sort of unwinding and the physical aspect and mental aspect of pushing yourself and moving yourself away from sitting in a chair and typing on a computer. What you would think as a typical, say, desk job would be my biggest motivation in why I run.
Okay, cool. So how do you then fit that into your daily routine?
Typically, I'm going to go to work, and then after work, we're going to run. If we're traveling, a lot of times we'll fit a run in the morning. We do have a treadmill desk at work, so we can also walk or run at work if we want to get all sweaty. Especially around the Imagine events or the Magento events, we'll organize runs in the morning with other developers as just sort of a social bonding time to unwind and have some fun.
Okay, cool. And you say that you do unwind and you use it to relax and everything, but are you also competitive? Do you keep track of your times, your personal best? Do you always push yourself to get better and quicker?
Sure. I'm on almost every social medium for running, so Strava or Daily Mile or Runkeeper. They all allow you to track your miles. I keep a log, which I get from my dad, who was an accountant, and he's a runner. He's logged his miles since he was since 1978. So I'm hoping to also follow in his footsteps and log my miles until I've circumnavigated the world a couple of times like he has. Um, I think that, being that I started a little bit later in life, I didn't start running until I was 40, that I have the opportunity of still getting a lot of personal bests so I can break records of my own. Running really is an individual sport, and you do compete against yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the luxury still of not having personal bests when I was in my 20s and 30s. All my personal bests are when I was in my 40s. So I can still run a little bit faster, and hopefully I'm still on that upward curve of making it a little bit faster than slowing down. I'm sure I'm going to slow down soon, but right now I have the luxury of going up.
Cool. Okay, and so it's for me, running can be quite tough, and I can kind of get stuck in the middle of it. And how do you motivate yourself to keep running to get to the distance that you want to get?
I think that's part of the appeal is it is a battle against mind and body. So at a certain point, you get past the part about being out of breath, and then it's just the idea of moving forward. And if you can get lost in your thoughts or get lost in a podcast like Mage Engage or Mage Talk or one of the other great Magento podcasts, it's easy to forget that you're moving forward and forget about the surroundings and just enjoy the fact that you're running. And then you just have your body that's, after a while you're going to get tired. So then it's how much farther can I move without getting injured or just wanting to quit. So really, even in if you look at it in a Magento project, at some point you're frustrated. If you're doing development, you're frustrated because you can't get over a problem. It's the same type of thing where you have to have that mental fortitude to decide that, hey, I'm going to solve this. I'm going to get over this next hump, and I'm going to move fast and get to the finish line.
Cool. And finally, if there was anyone watching this that wanted to get into running or wanted to make one improvement that they currently run, what would you recommend that they did?
Well, certainly to start, I would say run. The best way to start running is to start running and not worry about the fact that you're out of breath. I would say run and walk until you can run a kilometer and then run 2 kilometers and then keep going until you get to 5 kilometers and then do a race. And the races are great because the bigger races are even more fun. Mm-hmm. You get to meet a bunch of people and compete, and then go to the next race and go a little bit farther. It's just a progression, and don't think that you can do it all at once because mm-hmm. It's just like learning a language or learning how to develop Magento. You can't just jump in and do it all at once. It's an event it's a time-based thing that you have to practice at.
Yeah. Cool. That's really, really good advice. And this has been really interesting for me to hear your passion and just how easily you can talk about this, which is awesome. So as a little reward for being so interesting, I would love you to plug something that's important to you, and maybe someone that's watching could pick something up.
Sure. So the first thing is I'm running the Boston Marathon, and I'm doing it for the Liver Foundation. Mm-hmm. So you can donate to my foundation page at lovemyliver.org. That's my first one. And then cool. The second one is we're starting Magento training in the United States for magetraining.us. So those are my two big plugs.
Okay, cool. I will link information in the description to both of those, and so anyone can find out that information if they want. But quickly before you go, just mage training. Could you just give us like one sentence, couple of sentences, what it's about and stuff, so people know?
Sure. Mage training is about helping end users, not developers, but end users learn how to use Magento, mainly in the Magento admin section. So a store owner or somebody that works at a e-commerce company that runs Magento can work Magento
Perfect.
and do everything that a programmer wouldn't normally do.
That's cool. That's very good. That helps me out a lot with our clients and stuff. Are able to do a bit more stuff. That's very cool. Great. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for taking the time out and talking to me. It's been really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for watching. If anyone is still watching, I'm sure they are. And please comment below, let me some feedback on Twitter or anything. And thank you very much for joining me, and goodbye.
Bye.